Hey, what is going on, Virgos? Butch Tarot here. I am going to do your 1 week read. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. Today I'm going to be using the Runic Tarot. And with all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what is going on for Virgos? What message do we have for Virgos? Let me see for Virgos. All right, Virgos. So the first thing I'm seeing, Virgos, I feel like this is someone that you already know, possibly even someone you're already in a relationship with. But I feel like with this person, like I said, it is someone that you know. It is someone that's going to be familiar to you. Now, I feel like with this person lately, there's been a lot of hot and cold. You know, I feel like it feels like there's some distance becoming, getting in the middle of the two of you. I feel like it almost feels like they're pulling away. It almost feels like we have the Eight of Swords. Not so much, like I said, hot and cold as in, not seeing each other. I feel like almost like it feels like they're in that self-imposed prison. Like they're shutting themselves off on purpose. I feel like things are at a place where you thought you're ready for that next step. You're ready to evolve this connection. You're ready to commit a little bit more. And all of a sudden, this all starts happening with this person, like I said, that hot and cold energy, feeling like they're in that self-imposed prison, like they're doing it to themselves. Now, with that, I feel like you're absolutely right. I feel like this person, feels like they're slipping into some old ways. I feel like in the past there might have been some addiction or at least something that some negative energy that keeps pulling this person down. Like I said, it could possibly be addiction. And when I say addiction, it doesn't, a lot of people just jump to the conclusion of drug addiction, alcohol addiction, which it very well could be, if I could learn to talk. It very well could be that. But there's also different types of addiction. Sometimes we're addicted to negative thinking. And it's not we're addicted because it's how we make our feel. It's not the same as an addiction to alcohol. It's kind of like when you're used to not having someone show up for you, when you're used to not getting what you want. Sometimes we go back to that negative way of thinking because it's comfortable. We're used to it. I feel like in the past, this person had a lot of people that failed them, that didn't show up for them, that wrote them off. And that could be combined with, a substance addiction. But negative thinking can be an addiction all of itself. I call the people that do that I refer to it as that marsh people. Like it's almost like they've lived in shit so long that they're used to the smell, and it's comfortable for them. It's not comfortable for other people, and other people may not get that, but they're comfortable because it's what they know. Doesn't mean they like it. It just means they're comfortable there. I feel like this person is judging themselves very harshly. I feel like I said, it's there's so many things going on here with that judgment card. They're judging themselves harshly. They're resorting back to old ways, because they're afraid. That late night, that sleepless, that anxiety energy with that Nine of Swords. I feel like this person wants to be with you. They want to be with you more than you know. But I feel like they're afraid. They're afraid that they're going to fail you. And it's becoming a trigger for them. You're the last person this person wants to let down. You're the last one they want to fail. With you, you've always been nurturing with them. You've always been good with them. You've always been there for them. And their biggest fear is that they fail you. The one person that means so much to them, they're afraid they're going to fail you. Because of all the things you brought to them with that Queen of Cups and that Empress. This person wants nothing more than to show up for you, but I feel like fear is setting in. Like I said, I feel like they're kind of resorting back to that old way. There's some triggers here. This person trusts you, and they want you to trust them, but they feel like they can't talk to you about this without scaring you away. With that Moon card, it illuminates. It's like the illumination of the moon at night. Yes, it lights up the way, but the things to the side all has shadows. It all casts shadows. It all casts, like, we're not really sure what's going on around us. We can't see into the future. With this person, like I said, that subconscious, coming back into play. People always telling them they weren't good enough. People that matter to them. And I feel like this goes deep into their childhood. People that were supposed to be there for this person weren't there. And it instilled this type of thinking in this person. And right now they have a lot on their plate. So it's almost like they feel like these triggering moments where it's like getting a little bit too much for them. And they want to open up. They want to tell you, but they're afraid of how you're going to react to it. Their biggest fear is losing you. Their biggest fear is failing you. I feel like you've had some great talks with this person, and they kind of know what you want. They kind of know who you are, and they're getting to know you even more. And the more they get to know you, the more they want you. But like I said, they're afraid of failing you. Because through it all, whatever this relationship is, through it all, at the end of the day, I feel like you're their best friend. And the last person they want to disappoint is you. And like I said, with this person, they just want to show up for you. They want to be there for you. They want to give to you what you gave to them. But right now they're feeling like shit's going sideways and they don't know what to do about it. And the only person they want to talk to is you. But they don't know how to tell you. It scares the shit out of them trying to think about talking to you about it, because they're afraid that you're going to see what other people saw. And it's not that other people saw this in this person. It's the fact that they've been told that other people saw this. You see the potential in this person. You knew it from the beginning. And they're still yet to see that. But like I said, this person trusts you, and they want you to trust them. And I feel like for that reason alone, this person thinks about you and only you. For the fact that this person wants you to trust them, I feel like that in itself, what I see coming from that is this person not letting this be the end. Like I said, this negative thinking that they have right now, they're not going to let this end this. They're not going to, they are, like I said, and I'll say it again, there is some triggers happening right now, but they're fighting through it, and they're fighting through it for you. They don't want to fail you. So, like I said, that in itself, I mean, this person wants a future with you. They want to be with you. They want you to be their forever person. The connection that you have with them and that they have with you is something that we don't get a chance at. It's not one of those things where it comes along every day. Emotionally fulfilling. This person wants to be with you. This person wants something serious. And with that Hierophant, it's a strong union. They just want to be able to fill your cups up like you fill theirs. And right now they're feeling like they can't do that. So that distance you feel between you and them, or you're going to feel, it's not what you think. This person in no way, shape, or form wants to walk away from this. I mean, they want to move forward with you. We have the Chariot. That forward movement. So like I said, I feel like nobody's ever been this connected to this person. This person that's before you. No one's ever been this connected to them. They've never felt this type of connection. And I feel like that's going to overpower their sense to resort back to where they used to be. They've come a long way, and they're not going back. This huge transformation took time, and we're going to continue to move down that road. Like I said, I feel like there's just some anxiety, some fear right now. They're afraid they may slip. It's one of those things, and it kind of reminds me of, I don't remember what movie it was. There was this movie, and they're both hanging by this rope on the side of a cliff, and the guy is trying to hold on to the other person, and they're like, "You got to let me go, or we're both gonna fall." And the guy was like, "I'm not letting you go," and then the person that was hanging at the bottom of it all, they let go, and the person lost grip, and that way they were trying to save the other person. They were giving themselves up to save the other person. I feel like that's the energy right now. It's like they don't want to hurt you. They don't want to bring you down, but they're also that fear that you may see who they really are. They may fail you, and that's the last thing they want to do, and that just proves how much this person truly cares about you. I feel like the doubts that they have are not doubts in you or doubts in this connection. It's doubts they have in themselves. But like I said, I feel like this person isn't going to walk away from that easily. I feel like they're in their head a little bit now, but I feel like they are going to talk to you. They're going to open up to you. They're going to be very honest because they feel like they have that connection with you, that they can be honest with you. They can be direct. They're happy with you. They're the happiest they've ever been. They don't want to lose that. But in reflection, I feel like with that Judgment in reverse, that self-reflection, I feel like that just shows how much growth this person's had, because they're realizing they're being destructive right now. And they're not going to let that happen. They're not going to let that win over on this. They are going to show up for you like they want to. They just got a lot going on right now, and there's a lot of negative thinking. But, like when somebody has an addiction, anyway, we'll get into that in a minute in story time. With this person, we have Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. He has some Cancer and Pisces and Scorpio, as well as we have some Gemini and Libra. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of water in this person, because I feel like they do truly care very deeply. But then there's also, like I said, it's almost like that Scorpio. There's possibly some Scorpio in their houses, because Scorpios have a tendency of, the negative trait of a Scorpio is that marsh people type vibe. Like they're always waiting for the shoe to drop. They're always doubting themselves. And they're always, having that fear of not being enough. That somebody's going to the veil's going to fall off and somebody's going to see them for who they really are, and nobody's going to want them, that negative trait. Like I said, what I was going to say is, with this person, I feel like there's this, they're fighting through whatever addiction they had. They've come a long way, and that's just proof is in the pudding. I think, like my nanny used to say. I've talked about this before, but with my brother, he suffered through, substance abuse for a long time, and every time he got better, something would trigger him, and he'd go back to it, and it was always this recurring cycle. During his substance abuse, he was with this girl that he was really in love with. She ended up leaving him because she couldn't deal with it anymore. So she left him. Probably a year later, he got clean. He was clean for 3-4 months. Found out she was engaged. He went on a bender. He came out of that, found out she was pregnant. Went back to that, came out of it again, lost his job. And it just always this stuff that kept triggering him to go back to that, to numb the pain. But like I said, not all addictions are necessarily, substance abuse. Negative thinking, you could be addicted to it. In my opinion, I'm not a doctor or anything, but I feel like some people are addicted to that. Because it's a place where they know. It's almost like I have an uncle, and he drinks all the time. And he tells me when he's drunk, he doesn't realize how shitty of a person he is. How bad his life is. He's comfortable when he's drinking because it numbs everything. And I feel like with addiction, addictions, like I said, there's mental addictions where you're addicted to, there's so many addictions out there. There's, addicted to porn or sex or alcohol or drugs, but there's food addictions. There's so many addictions out there. And I just didn't want to narrow it down to just being a substance addiction, which it possibly could be the person you're dealing with, but I'm definitely seeing some sort of addictive personality. But they're fighting through it for you. And if that doesn't speak volumes, nothing will. Like I said, they're not letting themselves get back to there. There's a lot of internal struggle right now in this person, but they're fighting it. And I feel like they're winning that fight. And they're doing it for you. For the both of you. And that's one of the biggest things that I learned. I went to addiction counseling for my brother. Because I was always trying to help him. I was always trying to figure out how I could talk to him. I enabled him for years, and then I realized I couldn't do that anymore. Like, he'd get drunk or, get high, and I'd go pick him up. I'd give him money. I enabled it because I loved him, but I wasn't doing me any good. So I went to addiction counseling to find out things I could do. And, that really helped. But I learned different techniques, and I learned the thought process. They teach about the thought process and how people with addictions think. And it seems to me through that course. Now, like I said, I'm not a doctor. I took a course. It was a 12-week course. It wasn't anything that gives me any right to say what I'm going to say. Just my opinion. So take that with a grain of salt. But it's a lot of times it masks their self-worth. They may not be necessarily self-aware. And the worst part about it is what happens I hate talking about this for so long. I don't mean to take up your time. So if you're bored by this, by all means, I appreciate you staying this long. But when people are suffering from addiction, they do things and they may mess up. They may steal money from someone, or they may say something to someone that really hurt their feelings, someone close that really matters to them, or countless things that could have gone wrong. So it's almost like that's another hole, or that's another shovel full out of the hole that they're digging for themselves. And they get to a point where they feel like they've burnt so many bridges that they can never come back from it. And I feel like that's the hardest part with addiction, is the longer the addiction goes on, the deeper the hole got. And it's almost like they get to a point where like there's no coming back from this. So the relevance, what's relevant about what I'm saying right now is the fact that you are someone this person truly cares about, and they feel like you care about them. Now, I feel like there is some doubt of how much you care, or how much this person feel like they can fail you, but they really look up to you, and they really have these strong emotional feelings for you. I feel like this person loves you, and they want your love, and they're not trying to do anything to lose that. And I feel like true love for someone, truly being there for someone, can make all the difference. Like, my brother has been clean for a few years now, and we have a great relationship again. I got my brother back, and it's, he always, he has his moments where he's really emotional. And he calls me up, and I told him, you can call me anytime you want. We talk about it. And he said, I appreciate you and Mom never gave up on me. And I was like, dude, I would never give up on you. There's sometimes I had to cut you off because I wasn't enabling it. But he said it's nice to have, someone waiting there for you on the other side. And you are that for this person. You're the reason why they get up and fight every day. So don't second guess that. You're more important to them than you realize. But be good. Take care. Stay safe.